started to talk about cleansing and starting with the bowels and with your gut. That is the number one place to start when thinking about cleansing. So, cleansing the gut, getting that where it needs to be, then you step up and move up to the liver. The liver and the gallbladder feed into your bowels, but they also filter and nourish the blood, so all the blood goes through the liver to be oxygenized, but it can get congested and contain a lot of what liver flukes, parasites and stuff like that. So we need to make sure that that's uncongested and working as well. Once you've done the A and B's, the activating and building and nourishing, then it's a matter of really working with the bowels, and then the liver. And really, again, take it step by step, because you just want to make sure that you stay strong enough and healthy enough as you continue to cleanse, if that is your goal. And ultimate goal is to get to the higher levels of cleansing. Then taking it step by step, making sure you can handle it. So going into the liver, there are some herbal supports for that, essential oils as well, and different things you can do for the liver, which we can go into. Okay. Then once you've done and addressed the liver, then you can move into the lymphatic and the kidneys, either one or both, or like I said, either one. Jeez. Then with the lymphatic, there is something called lymphatic drainage. There's some herbal supports, but there's also the therapy where you can come in and have a massage that's specifically for stimulating and activating and getting the lymphatic system to flush itself out. It is not a relaxing massage by any means, and it just depending on how congested the lymph is, it could be a little bit on the more tender side, a little uncomfortable. So it's really important to work with your practitioner, your therapist, to know, the right pressures and make sure it's not too painful, but really working the fluids through your lymphatic system, breaking loose any congestion, and getting those fluids flowing the way they should, and that filtering system working the way it should, and cleansing that out. The lymphatic system is your natural filtering system, so it's going to have a lot of stuff, a lot of toxins and pathogens that it pulls out from all the other organs and throughout the blood and everything. And so it does house a lot, but then once it gets up through and pulls everything out, it ultimately will go up, and the lymph nodes help to break down the different toxins if it can. That's where it can get pretty congested, specifically is in the lymph nodes, but really working that through so that it will push out the toxins, whether it's through your kidneys or through your bowels. So really important to first start with the bowels, then work up to your liver, and the next step is either lymph and or kidneys, depending on where you're at. Kidneys can get backed up in the renal glands and the cortexes, so as there's debris and proteins and different things that are being eliminated in the urine, they can develop, the stones are pretty common when they get built up in kidneys, so you want to make sure that those are kept cleansed and healthy, with enough water but the right minerals. There's part of that activating and building would be part of all that, but cleansing it out, there are some kidney drainage, herbal supports, and different things you can do as well. So all that said, keeping in mind that there is a path of wellness, including in the cleansing section, where once you're ready to starting at the base, which is the colon and the bowels, then the liver, the lymph, and then the kidneys. Overall, really doing a good job of cleansing, I would suggest during the whole cleansing part that you continue. You haven't stopped doing the building. I guess that's an important piece that I haven't said yet. That as you're cleansing, continue with the building. And um, once you've been activated, there's, and you've been building and stuff like that, I don't think you'd have to go back to activating unless you got away from it for a little while or something came up, the stress levels or whatever. You just kind of dialing in, and it doesn't hurt to go back and reactivate, if especially mentally. If there's been stresses that kind of blocked you, which then can hinder your process, but reactivating your mental emotional, but then just continue to build even throughout the cleansing process, especially prolonged cleanses. You want to still make sure that you're strong enough, healthy enough, have the right resources, and your parking spaces stay full of what they need, versus leaving any spaces open for whatever wants to sit there and cause damage and blocking whatever's supposed to come in. So again, hopefully that makes sense. And I look forward to actually going through the protocols and walking you through an actual cleanse. We'll see you next time.